Alright, so I wanted to bring back Niki's nonsense because I didn't want to put it in a chat spat. I didn't want to make it a rant. And to be honest, this is all just nonsense that I'm going to talk about. It's kind of a rant. It's kind of chat spat worthy. But for you guys as viewers, I know that you're going to care, but it's still going to be nonsense. And the way that it ends is nonsense. So I want to talk to you guys about a few things that have happened to me with companies, specifically with subscription services, that is just really, it's got me a little confused, a little upset. I don't know, and it's not just subscription services, you guys, it's companies in general. I just have a problem. I have a really big problem with the way that they do business and social media. Like, I just haven't experienced things like this before, and the more that my channel grows, the more that I work with companies on any kind of basis, and the more bullshit that I deal with and see, and the more it makes me want to take a step back and be like, whoa, whoa. So if you guys follow me on Snapchat and Twitter, you probably already know the whole Boxycharm fiasco. That was a fiasco, but I did not tell you guys the ending of that. I might have. By the time you see this, I might have told you. But a lot of you don't follow me there and you don't know what happened. In September, the month that I gave birth to my son, Boxycharm just stopped sending me boxes. Now, they sent me them free to review, honestly, and that's exactly how I did it. I wasn't sponsored by them. I am affiliated by them. So I get money every time somebody signs up off my referral. And I had been doing it for well over a year, and all of a sudden, I just stopped getting a box. And I was like, okay, well, this happened once before and it was an accident, and they made sure to send me out the box and everything was good. I just made my video later in the month. Well, my videos have always done very good with Boxycharm. I always get thousands of views and a lot of referrals, and they're one of my top viewed videos. So I always get very excited about them too, because I personally love Boxycharm. I mean, who really doesn't? There are some people who aren't signed up because they either don't have the money and can't afford it, or they're just not interested. But for the most part, I think like 75% of social media in the beauty community is subscribed to Boxycharm. But beyond that mix-up, I always made my videos monthly and very early, because it was like me, Michelle, and Sadie were all the three people, and maybe Vanessa too, that got their boxes really, really early and always got them up immediately for people. And so in September, when I stopped getting them, I was just like, I noted it, you know, in my head that I wasn't receiving them, but I didn't hear anything from Boxycharm, and I had just had my son, and you guys know how bad that was going. You know, I didn't have a very good time before I birthed him. Birthing him was very quick, but because of that, it caused a lot of problems. The epidural was horrible. I ended up having to go in for a blood patch. I mean, there was so much going on, I couldn't give a shit. I could care less about what was happening on social media. And then October came, and no box still. And I was feeling a little bit better, so I emailed them and I was like, hey, you know, what's going on? You know, is everything okay? What did I do? And they just said because of the hurricane, their shipments were out of whack and everything was behind. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I still didn't get a box that month, and it was the end of the month, so I emailed them again and they ignored me. It is very hard to get in touch with Boxycharm, but I'm going to tell you why later on. But then they ignored me for a few months, and then I got a hold of them again. I think it was almost December, November-ish, at the end of November, because I still hadn't received another box. And they're like, oh, well, you should be getting a box. We don't understand. Let us know. And I said, no, I didn't get it. And then I emailed them again in a week, and I was like, I still didn't get it. It's the beginning of December. Am I going to be getting a December box? Well, they wrote me back like a week later, and they're like, oh, you've been on the list forever to be getting these boxes. Have you not gotten it? That's really worrisome. We're going to contact the Boxycharm team. And then 8 days after that, this girl named Nicole contacts me and says, you're taken off the list. We're basically dropping you. In 3 sentences, hey love, we're sending out too many promotional boxes, so we have decided that we have to end our collaboration or promotion with you. Best of luck, and thanks for supporting Boxycharm, XOXO. And that's all I got after a year of promoting them every month. I mean, for getting hundreds of people to sign up, they just dropped me like that. And I thought I was the only one. I guess I was probably one of the first people that they said that to, because after that, Vanessa told me that happened to her, Molly told me it happened to her, and another person told me it happened to them. and everybody was quite upset. And not because we didn't get free boxes, because I can buy Boxycharm if I want to. That's not the point. That's really not the point. They started sending them to me before I even made the decision that I wanted to sign up, or I would have done it myself. It's no big deal. And so that wasn't the point. But I know that when you talk about these kind of things, when YouTubers talk about being on PR lists or getting PR or something like that, people get like, oh, no, 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 no. And I totally understand that, especially when they are huge YouTubers and they are rich and they can afford anything they want. To whine about not being on someone's PR list sucks. You know, it's kind of like, what are you talking about? Just go buy it. Like, you entitled brat. And that's what I didn't want to come off as an entitled brat, because that wasn't the point. I could afford it if I wanted to. I mean, some months it might be a stretch, but I could afford it. That wasn't the point. The point was how they disconnected that association with me. And they didn't really say why. And I mean, they said that they were sending out too many, but that just kind of seemed like bullshit, because I just saw them sponsor Laura Lee on Instagram. Now, you know, in order to sponsor Laura Lee, they're paying her thousands. They gotta, because she ain't gonna do it for anything less. So once this happened to Vanessa and Molly, and we were all talking about it on Twitter, Vanessa's very good when it comes to speaking to companies, and she reached out to the company, this Nicole girl, and didn't get anywhere. And Vanessa noticed that this girl is an outsourced company, which is what Boxycharm does, which is why you may think their customer service stinks. It's because they outsource their customer service unless you're looking for a specific thing. Now, I found that I only have 2 actual Boxycharm emails. Other than that, it's some other kind of Outlook, Reach.com kind of thing, and that is the company that deals with their social media and kind of like emails and stuff like that. And that's where everything went wrong. Now, I'm sitting on Twitter ranting and raving, and on Snapchat ranting and raving, making an ass of myself, because I didn't know that inner working. I thought Boxycharm was Boxycharm. I had no idea that I was speaking to another company that helps Boxycharm out with their emails and their PR and stuff like that. So, so this girl, you know, I write her back really upset, like, are you kidding? Like, why? You know? And come to find out, Vanessa ended up finding an actual Boxycharm representative to speak with, and they said that the tracking was off, and they couldn't track that we were actually making our videos, so we got taken off the PR list. And that wasn't even what happened, because me and Vanessa both have always consistently done our Boxycharm unboxings. So it made no sense. It made absolutely no sense, and I felt like I had been lied to and ignored the whole time. So I let Boxycharm have it on Twitter and Snapchat, which a lot of you saw and heard. I let them have it, and then come to find out, it was a miscommunication, and some totally random woman that works for them that is not the greatest at her job. Let's just be honest. And now, like I said, nonsense, I feel like an asshat. The one thing that I will always do is be honest. And maybe I'm a little bit too rushed to be honest, because at that point I didn't know that that was a different company. I thought that was Boxycharm, and I thought that what she was saying was the end-all be-all. So I had felt pretty wronged by them. Pretty like, oh, you're a smaller YouTuber and you don't do enough for us, and now that we're sponsoring bigger YouTubers, we're just going to throw you in the garbage like yesterday's news. And since that happened to me from FabFitFun as well, FabFitFun went from sending me like subscription boxes every quarter, which is how it works for them. And then they started having like B celebrities open their boxes, and then all of a sudden they stopped sending them to me and told me that in order for me to get a free box, I had to sell 3 first. I'm not selling something I've never used. You're out of your mind. I don't know if that box is good or not. You know, I have consistently liked FabFitFun enough to like tell someone, yeah, they're a good box to have if you have the money, because they are a more expensive box, but you also get a bigger value in the box. But I also know that they overprice their stuff, and a lot of their stuff is indie stuff or stuff that people handcraft, and it's just super expensive stuff. Stuff that, in my opinion, is gorgeous, gorgeous stuff in their boxes, but well overpriced. You know, but I would still tell someone the quality is great in what you get, and sometimes you get amazing boxes with FabFitFun. With both of these companies, the subscription service themselves is not the problem. It's the customer service and the way that they run their business. And with FabFitFun, you know, I knew that their boxes were good, but there was 1 or 2 boxes that I had done in the past 2 years of promoting them that weren't the greatest. And I would have been like, this isn't my favorite box. And I would tell people that and be honest about it. And then all of a sudden, I'm not getting a free box anymore until I sell 3. But another YouTuber that I know that does FabFitFun unboxings, they told her the same thing. She said the same thing back to them that I did, and she got a free box, yet they didn't even offer me one. I don't like that kind of shady business. I don't like the shady business of saying you have to sell something to get it for free. No, if you want me to promote it on my channel, I need to have it in my hand. I need to be able to review it, to hold it, to use it. There's no way that I find it honest that I'm going to sell something before I can actually get it to use. That's not happening. You know, and because of that, I felt attacked by both companies, and because of what I went through with FabFitFun and that BS, I felt quicker to the draw with attacking Boxycharm about what had happened. And come to find out, it really truly wasn't even their fault. It was a huge miscommunication. So now when I do my unboxings, I have to actually send in my video and all the promotion, like any Instagram pictures or Twitter or anything like that, I have to send in to them so they know that I'm still doing my promotions, which is fine because I'm an affiliate. You know, I make money off somebody signing up, and that is something they're paying me, you know, so in return I send them my promotional posts. And I guess it was just a huge miscommunication, and I'm glad for it, but I'm also a little upset at myself for just jumping the gun and not knowing that there was an outsourced company. So thank you to Vanessa for letting me know. I had no idea that companies even did that. Can you tell how noob I still am with working with companies, even though I've worked with a lot? There are tons of issues when it comes to working with companies, and it's not easy, and there's a lot of things that happen that are just unfair, especially when you're a smaller YouTuber. And that's why I wanted to talk to you guys about it, because I publicly, you know, slammed Boxycharm. I even went as far as to say that I would never support them and didn't feel comfortable telling you guys to be subscribed to them. And it wasn't even them. It was this middleman company that they should change up their middleman company. They're not good. But you're either very, very confused right now, or you know exactly what I mean by this is Niki's nonsense. This is all nonsense, first world problems. But I feel like I need to explain myself, and I need to be honest about the things that happen. If a company's bad, I will say that they're bad. Even if I loved them, like Boxycharm or FabFitFun, I love their service. Their service is so good. Sometimes the customer service isn't there for customers and influencers. You know, and I think that if they treat their influencers bad, it makes me very, very weary of how they will treat their customers. Very weary. Because most companies will kiss an influencer's ass, and we all know that. We've all seen the PR unboxings where they get sent, like, robot vacuum cleaners and all sorts of shit. You know, so if they treat an influencer bad, me personally, if I think of it as not being an influencer and just a customer, I would never touch that company with a 10-foot pole. You know, so I'm glad to find out that it wasn't Boxycharm, that it was a miscommunication, and that it was a middleman company that just went wrong. And I'm glad that Vanessa and I are both back on the list, and we will be reviewing Boxycharm again, because it is a great service. It's just this mix-up has taught me something. Slow down. Not everybody is the same, even if the situation looks the same. You know, and that's a life lesson right there. That's a life lesson. So I wanted to share it with you guys. I don't know if you'll care. I don't know if you'll care, but I wanted to share it with you guys. I wanted to explain myself for the people who were listening to this drama and me go on and wanted to know what happened in the end. I'm still not completely happy with Boxycharm and everything that goes on, because all in all, they still ignore me quite well. But not the person that I talk to directly. So I have a good email, you know, and I just wanted to be honest with you guys about everything that was going on, in case you saw everything that I said or heard it on Snap, and explain myself, because I feel like this is about 80% my fault. 80% my fault that I got as mad as I did and wrote them off as quick as I did and assumed. And once again, one of life's biggest lessons, don't assume anything. And I'm not perfect, but I'm also willing to admit when I'm wrong. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about it, because there were some good life lessons in that. Good life lessons. But if I ever do come across bad companies, you guys know I will let you know. I will let you know. And I will let you know when I calm down enough to look at everything get all of the details of everything, and wait until it is ended and everything is done. And then I will speak about it, just like I did in one of my recent videos about companies that I no longer support and why. They'll just be added into that. I just really do look out for you guys, and I want you to know that. When I have a bad experience, I tell you guys about it because I want you guys to be educated and do your own research into it and choose whether you want to support that company or whether you feel good with having them have your card information or your money or anything like that. So when I find out something that I know proof-wise or has personally been done to me about a company, I will always come forward with it, you guys. I will never just cover it up. I will definitely never cover it up for the sake of free product. It's not worth it. There are millions of companies out there that sell or do the same kind of thing. You know, it's just, this was a shit storm. That's what it was. A shit storm. And it ended up just being Niki's nonsense. So I'm sorry to anyone who follows me on Snapchat and Twitter about just the negativity that I've been kind of putting out about that lately and just how I've been. I've been a little bit irritable. I think it's that time of the month coming. That's not an excuse. But I am really sorry to anyone who has had to listen to me go on and on and on about it. I just felt wronged. And I'm the kind of person where when I feel like something is wrong, I stand up, and I stand up hard, and I stand up quick. I was just raised that way, and I try to not be so trigger happy, but sometimes I am. I'm an imperfect human, so I'm just trying to be better than the day I was before, and sometimes I fall off the wagon. If you guys like this video and want to see more Niki's nonsense, then give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments what you think about my nonsense. Niki, nonsense. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. I do want to bring back Niki's nonsense as much as possible. I just feel like I get to sit down and chat with you guys about things that aren't as, I guess, professional as the chat spat. You know, I don't have to be as professional. The only reason why I'm filming it like this now instead of in crappy lighting like I usually do is because I was already filming and I thought, oh, what the hell. If you don't like these kinds of videos, that's okay. You don't have to watch them. I make a ton of other videos for you guys to watch, all sorts of different content. So don't feel bad if you don't like these. You know, you just don't have to click on them. So until our next one, I guess I'm just going to take a seat, quiet down, and breathe. Bye, guys.